White people are inferior. Now, they'll say that people of color are the inferior race, but here's the thing. If you take a moment and think through Buffalo, California, Texas, and all the shootings that have been happening of late by white men primarily, put that there, okay? So don't get twisted with that, but just stay with me, okay? And with just to make it clean so I don't have to get a whole lot of extra, let's just focus on Buffalo and California right now, all right? But we could focus on Texas in terms of the white police response time, and that it still fits into the same conversation, okay? There's this theory called the Great Replacement Theory. It's been around for decades, okay? And it was written by, hey Josh, it was written in service of white people remaining the dominant race, aka make America great again, okay? And the whole point of it is this. The very nature of, in a lot of ways, evolution is that people have babies, right? And what's happening is people of color, Black people, Asian people, Latino people are having babies younger, okay, than white people are. And please share this video now, because it would give you some power in the craziness that's happening with white men and their guns, all right? We're having babies more and quicker, all right? And if you think about Roe versus Wade, reproductive rights, white men up here advocating for or really pushing to ban abortion, all the things, right? If you put them all together, you'll start to notice some patterns. And this is what I need you to see. And please share this video because I need you to think instead of react. White people are not reproducing. They're not having as many babies. Do you understand? And they think we're out to replace them, to take something from them, to take their land, to take something from them, whatever, whatever it is, okay? And Fox News feeds them this theory all the time. And it's been going on for years and years and years. So you have a contingency of white men who are indoctrinated, and they literally have websites, they have live chats, all the things, like this, all the things. And what they're talking about is that people of color are trying to take their country from them. As if they ever earned it. I'm back, God. All right. And so the challenge is and notice, I want you to notice, if you see the young men with the guns that are doing the mass shootings, start noticing their profile, right? Just notice that I'm not going to get into that. Just notice the kind of person that person is, right? But the thing I need you to hear today, let me just stay here, is this. Because we're having children and they're not, they're making it mean that they're going to be in a minority, we'll be the majority, and it's true, it's coming. They're not wrong, but it's a natural evolution. It's not because we're trying to have more babies. It's just that they're fucking impotent. Either their women aren't fertile or their men don't have swimmers. Okay? And because they're impotent, okay, or impotent. And notice this, I want you to relate to, this is going to sound, for those who are new to me, I'm Dr. Venus. Roll with me, all right? It's a big insecurity, Dominique. Their guns, this is going to sound vulgar to my Christians, so forgive me, okay? Take the case that their guns become an extension of their manhood, that their guns become an extension of their physicality, of their potence, of their power. I'm trying to be delicate. It won't last, all right? And each time they shoot a person, take the case that gives them a sense of potency. Does that make sense? I hope this is making sense. And for all people who are new to me, forgive me. I should have set it up better, but I didn't. My point is this. We have been taught to believe that we're inferior. We've been taught to believe that white people are fragile, that they fear us. That's what we've been taught. It's none of that. They are inferior to you.
And the way we know they're inferior is because they're scared that because, and this is going to get kind of vulgar for some of y'all, God, and forgive me, I'm not trying to be, but I need to get the point in. They're measuring their masculinity with their guns. And if you take people of color, specifically black men, who are positioned as very virile, very robust, for lack of a better word, they're actually having a dick fight with their guns because they can't make babies. They're not making babies. Okay? They're not. If they were, they wouldn't have to kill us. And when I think about, I don't want to go graphic with the babies, with Texas, but to have them wait 90 minutes, those are white cops. Those were on the border. You know what I'm saying? And people tell me it's not right race, but all of these incidents are targeted to people of color by white men primarily. So I don't want y'all to come in. I don't want no fights about like, well, I know the brother was Mexican. I know that. That's not what I'm pointing to. What I'm trying to have you hear is something much more profound, which is it's not about them hating us. It's about them actually being inferior to us. And we're relating like like they have some kind of feeling. You see what I'm saying? Like, oh, they hate us. It's not hate. No, they ain't got nothing to do with it. You're perfect. Okay? You're perfect. They're not reproducing. They're not having enough sex. And if they are, either she's not fertile or he's impotent. And the impotence shows up in the guns. Have you noticed how many white men want guns? Have you ever wondered why? Take the case that for them it's a phallic symbol. That's a form of power and masculinity because they are not hung like black men are. Do you understand? They don't have the suave, the sexual. How can I say this, God? Soft. Help me say it, beautiful God. Please let me say it soft. They're not Latin lovers. Okay? And they're not, how can I say this? I'm trying really hard to be delicate. It's hard for me. But they're just not good in bed. And I'm not saying all white men aren't good in bed, so please miss me with that. Please miss me with that. I am talking charisma. That sounds better, Dominique, than charisma. But it's also mechanics. They ain't got the equipment. And they're not producing. And that's not our fault. That's their problem. And they feel very, very, very low about themselves. Do you see what I'm saying? So I want to bring this to your attention because when I listen to the arguments that we're having, we're talking about they hate us, they don't like us, why they hitting us. They ain't doing nothing. If we could have been people from Iceland, and if we were having more babies than them, they would still do the same crap. They really believe on some fundamental level, and I'm talking about extremists. I'm not talking about allies. I'm not talking about white people who aren't tripping. I'm talking about the ones with the guns, the ones that are targeting people of color. I'm saying there's a whole constituency of that belief system that's supported by Fox News, by the Republican Party, by Republicans that really are committed to having the United States be what they imagine in their imagination, white again, great again. When they were in power, or what they thought was power, because working class whites never had any power. Only rich white people have always had power. But if you tell a working class white person, a working class or illiterate white person that somebody of color is taking something from him, he becomes a ticking bomb. And you become a target. Because he already feels inferior. Okay? And this is being acted out with guns because that is the only way they can feel like a man. Now, you don't have to agree with me. I included an article from Rolling Stone. I think they say it much better than I did because I'm just telling you as a theorist, as an identity theorist, as a black woman, as as all the things. All right? Get out your feelings. Get out your feelings. They don't care about you. Don't worry about that. That is not even important. What's more salient is to comprehend, and I need y'all to hear me on this. I said all that to say this. Do you understand how close we are to overturning the old regime that they're the only choice they have is to go around killing babies? Do you understand how threatened and inferior they have to be that the only thing they can do is send out extremists to put fear into space? I don't know who said it. I don't know if it was Frederick Douglass, Marcus Garvey. I don't remember exactly. But one of my brothers from the past was talking about no progress without struggle, no struggle, no progress, right? But there's another piece of it. And this, I don't want to say this soft, but I'm quoting somebody and I can't think who it is. God, but I think it's a movie title, so There Will Be Blood. There's no growth without loss. There's no freedom without a cost. And it's painful to watch the cost. It hurts me to watch the cost. And nobody has given up power for free. No regime has given up power for free. Okay? So my point is just please share, please tag, please do all the things. Okay? I'm saying this to you so that you understand that it's not about us. It is a white fight. This is where allies come in. This is where abolitionists come in. We can't win this one because we're the scapegoat. Everybody of color is the scapegoat. Just like the Civil War. The Civil War was fought between different kinds of whiteness. Do you understand? They've all had their own contingencies. And there were some who were pro-slavery and some who were pro-anti-slavery. And they were willing to fight. They were willing to go to war for what they believe. So we're not in that fight. This is a white fight. So you need to activate your white allies, your white family members, your white church friends. This is when it matters. Because if they don't start speaking up, then nothing changes. And I really encourage you to read the article I put in, but also go read about the Civil War. Just to get some cliff notes, do a Google on it. So you can realize what we're dealing with is literally a historical moment. And we are on the cusp of winning. And this is why they're cutting ugly. And we are growing in number. If you combine all the people of color in America, by 2050, white people will be the minority. And if I were them, no, because I can feel some fear. Because they've done some foul stuff. So of course they have fear. That's appropriate, given the foulness that they've done to everybody. And if we ever united, if we ever really sincerely organize ourselves to be free, they would have, if we organize up around revenge, they would have problems. But that's not our fight. We're not doing that. We just want our freedom. Okay? So all I'm out to say is this, God, help me say it beautiful, and I'm going to wrap it up. Don't give supremacists and extremists a pass on fragility, white fragility or white fear. It's not that. That has too much compassion for them, in my opinion. It's not that. If this brother from Buffalo could write a 180-page manifesto, lay out why he went to Buffalo, why he targeted black people, what he has studied, what his ammunition was going to be, how much it's going to cost. That's premeditated murder where I come from. Do you see what I'm saying? That's not mental illness. That is premeditated murder. That meant he came to kill. And he did. And I'm not going to go there, God, because I'm not trying to cry today. All I'm saying is I need you for my allies and all my black people who have friends or associates or business partners or community servants or board members who are white. I need you to talk to them, say, hey, you need to go talk to your uncle. You need to start speaking up to the people that you say you love about this. Because the more Republicans that buy into the replacement theory, the more it becomes normalized. The more it can be circulated. And then we become the target for their inferiority complex. And that has got to change. Okay? And the last thing I want to say, I think, unless God gives you something else to say, is I'm going to say this and I'll do another live on it later. If black people, and I'm talking to my sisters and brothers, I'm talking to y'all right now. If black people really want to get free, we need to shift our focus from marching to money. Go read about the Montgomery, Alabama bus boycott. Go look to see why that worked. It didn't work because they marched. It's worked because they stopped riding the bus. That's why it worked. We have a $1.6 trillion spending power as a people. Black women control 60% of that. $1.3 trillion is controlled by black women. And yet we do not pull our money out of white stores or white products. We don't do that. And because we don't do that, they don't take us seriously. But if you look at history, if you just go, I swear to God, don't take my word for it, get your own revelation. Go read about the boycott that Dr. King did. Just read about it. It won't take you long. You can get the clip notes. You can get an overview. Go look at the strategy. It was all legislation. It was all policy. It really was, y'all. It wasn't the marches. The marches made it visible, but the legal stuff changed it. And the pressure from the legal to change the laws came from us not spending our money with white businesses. So if we ever get serious about change, it's going to happen economically. It is not going to happen by crying on Facebook. And I'm not opposed to crying. I'm not opposed to crying because I cry on a regular basis. But what I'm saying is, until we start to take our buying power as seriously as we take our being insulted by the violence rooted on our body, then we won't have the power to leverage to make literally legal policy changes that would make a domestic terrorism bill, have them stop that, or pass legislation for guns, because we won't take our money out. We'll consume, but we won't withhold. And you have to do that as a collective. Go look at the Montgomery bus boycott and look at it for yourself. Don't get hopeless. Look like, oh, they're never going to change. Stop that. Hush that. Hush, 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 hush. Don't get emotional about it. Get strategic. Don't get like, oh man, they're awful. They're just human beings. Don't worry about that. If we got focused on leveraging our buying power, we shut this all down. Shut it down in a heartbeat. Because America is a capitalistic society, and we keep trying to act like it's a democracy, and it's not. I need y'all to stop believing in equality and start believing in capitalism that's leveraged. We could have our own ecosystem, but we won't trust each other to do it, which means we have to heal our own internal trauma in order for us to leverage our money to take care of our future generations. And that's all it would ever take, and that's all it ever took. You cannot try to make America be fair. It's not built on fair. It's built on money. So why don't we fight with money instead of fairness? Who cares how they feel about us? Who cares if they hate us? That's not they can do what they hate, whatever you. I don't care about that. I care about you. And I need you to stop reading your feelings about their actions and ignoring the obvious, which is this. We have money. We are consumers. They need us. I don't know what else to tell you. I really don't. I don't understand how you don't want to hear the money part, but you want to hear the injustice part. I don't understand that. And we have to move from injustice to commerce if we want change. It is an economic game. And I don't think you understand that economics run America. Hell, it runs the world. But we spend. And if we stop getting our nails done, if we stop getting our hair done, if we stop buying cars, if we stop getting rims, if we stop, I don't know, we just stop looking at TV. I don't know. But if we took that on for real and we started to move economically the same way we do when we march, if we started to withhold money, not just march, we would be able to get change. People get mad at Asian people getting laws passed. They leverage their money. They leverage their buying power. They leverage their network. And we're mad at them because they were thinking like that. We're marching and making a lot of noise. But we're not strategizing the one thing that makes a difference, which is money. And even if you don't think you have money, you know someone who does. You know someone who has good credit. You know somebody who can get access to different things. But we're not withholding that at all. So we're being pimped and we're participating in our own degradation, pointing it at white people, and it's not the case. I'm willing to be wrong. I really am, but I know I'm not. I've been studying this for over 30 years, and I'm looking for the day when I get enough black people who are willing to heal so we can work together and do big money, not just get mad when white supremacists or white extremists show us their inferiority. We could stop all of this if we took on each other. Okay, God, I'm falling back. I'm falling back, Jesus. I'm falling back. I'm falling back. I'm falling back. If you're offended by this word, it's like giving word, please pay it forward. Angela, it's not just shopping black. I don't even need, if you think about I'm sorry, I thought I was finished, Jesus. If you think, Angela started. If you think about the boycott in Montgomery, it wasn't about buying black. It was stop buying white. There's two different things. That's two different things. I'm not advocating for buying black, and that's fine if you do. I'm telling you to your face. If you go look at your clothes in your closet, the shoes you wear, the car you drive, the food you buy, you get all of that from white people. And I'm saying you could literally, if we did city by city, say, okay, we live in Atlanta, I'm just thinking of Atlanta or Baltimore, whatever. If we just, I don't know, decided to not buy cars, okay? Or we decided to not buy a certain brand of clothes or not shop at a certain place. And we did that as a collective for a year. We made our clothes or we bought black or whatever we did. That would have an impact economically on America's money. That's all I'm trying to say. And we're not thinking like that. We're talking about marching. I'm saying policy could change when you start messing with the money. Okay? That is what I'm saying. And I'm saying that if we don't start doing that, each time a white boy feels inferior, he's going to get a gun and he's going to shoot us. Because we're not leveraging the thing that we have that makes the difference, which is our capital, which is our money, our credit, our access. I feel like I'm being redundant, but I'm okay with that because it matters. I needed to say it today. So I'm going to surrender the mic. If you're fed by this word, this life-giving word, please pay it forward. Know that I love you with my whole heart. You are God wrapped in flesh. You are the Alpha and the Omega. You are the head and not the tail. You are the first and not the last. You are the righteousness of God. Okay? That is who you are for me. And I will only speak to the aspect of you. So please partner with me. How about that? Share this video. By virtue of sharing, you're getting knowledge out that's not being on mainstream television or radio or social media. This is the stuff we don't talk about. It's not about complaining. It's not about the Kardashians. It's about how we empower ourselves in an oppressive society. And we can. We can. But we got to heal. I love you, sis. I love you, bro. I love you, allies. This is Dr. Venus. Please share this video. And thanks for hearing me out. If you make any comments, please make them in spirit of love and dignity. Don't get awful. Don't get ugly. It's not necessary. You can just go away. It's not a problem. You don't have to agree with me. It's not required. But for those who have ears to hear, take it to heart. I love you. Goodbye for now.